Hi students, how are you all? Keeping well? Good. Your study is going on properly? I hope everything is good with you. Alright. Now come back to the next chapter, that is lesson 7. The heading of the chapter is Physical and Chemical Changes. This is a very simple but very important chapter. So you must learn this chapter in that mood. It's very easy to understand, but it's very important. Here in this chapter, we are going to study these topics are the main important points. These are the main important points that what we are going to study in this chapter. First, we will study what is physical change means, then chemical change, then reversible and irreversible change, and corrosion or rusting. These are the certain topics, there are certain points that we are going to study in this lesson. Let us see first what is physical change. You can see things around us keep on changing either by their structure, shape, size, texture, color, many other cases. When substances getting changed, that type of change is called a physical change. In other way, in a physical change, a thing's shape, its size, its state of being, and its texture, color, that some type of external changes takes place. These type of changes are called the appearance of the thing is changed. This is called what the physical change. So physical change is a very natural phenomena. For example, when you lit a candle, the candle is in the form in a wax that melts up, and the appearance, the structure, the shape of the candle is turned into a melting wax. This is a physical change. Or you can see a child growing into an adult, then to an old man. This is also a physical change. Or other change you can see state. When you freeze water in a refrigerator, it is turning into ice, becomes solid. At the same time, the same ice cube, the ice, when we heat it up, it turns back into liquid again. And if you heat it more, the liquid will evaporate. It turns into vapor. So these all are what physical change means. In appearance, in state of being, in color, in texture, the substances here thing, once it is changed, that type of change is called a physical change. Then what is chemical change? In chemical change, two important things takes place. What is? Physical and chemical properties of the substance is changed. The physical property means how it is being, that is changed, and the chemical properties on what substances, what chemical components a particular thing is made, that chemical qualities, properties are also being changed. In what type of change? In chemical change. And a new substance is formed. That's a third important thing which you have to learn about chemical change. What is? Physical and chemical properties are changed, and also new substance is formed. The old substance is no more. A entirely new substance with new properties is formed. These are the main things we have to note down in chemical change. Let's learn an example. When you burn a very white, very glassy, very beautiful paper, when you burn it, what happens? It turns into black and ash. So what happens here? The physical status of the plain paper, the beauty, the structure, the whiteness is changed. In appearance, the paper is turned into a very dark or ashy substance. And the chemical change is what happened there. All the carbon molecules are burnt into carbon, and it turns into black. That is what a chemical change. And here, new substance, what is? A new carbon substance is formed after releasing all type of energy from that. Another example, when you turn milk into curd, all properties, all the physical properties of the milk is changed and a new substance is formed, that is curd. This type of changes which brings a physically, chemically, total changes and turns into a new substance. That is what we call a chemical change. Next is, this is what the effect of changes. Now see, the changes are of two types. By the effect, result of the changes are two types, that is physical change and chemical change. But by nature, the changes are again divided into two, that is reversible and irreversible change. What is a reversible change? Reversible change means once a substance got changed, but it can be again brought back into the previous stage. First example, turning of water into ice. We can bring that ice back into water again. This is what the reversible change. Here, all the previous substances is again gained. But irreversible change means once a substance is changed into a new form, a new property that cannot be brought back. That cannot be brought back into previous state. That is called an irreversible change. Come back to the example that we learned when we burn a paper. After burning the paper, it turns into ash, it turns into carbon. Can you bring back that ash again into paper? No. This is what an irreversible change. So certain changes are physical and also irreversible. How? A child grows into an adult. Can you bring that adult back into a child? No. When milk turns into curd, can you bring back that curd into milk again? No. So this is what an irreversible change. So the things we have to learn is reversible change. Sometimes the properties are not lost, only the state, yet the appearance may be changed. But in chemical irreversible change, both can happen. Properties may be maintained but cannot be brought back into previous stage. Yeah, the entire properties are changed, features are changed, characteristics are changed that cannot be brought back into a previous stage. This is the two difference between irreversible change. Some irreversible change, they do not lose the property, only they cannot be brought back into the previous stage. But some irreversible change, entire things completely that is turned into a new substance and cannot be brought back into previous stage. That is irreversible change. So by nature there are two, that is reversible and a irreversible change. Next thing, corrosion or rusting. This is the same thing we have studied in class 6 also. When you keep an iron bar into an open atmosphere, you can see the glazing, the nature, the color of that particular thing is being changed. It turns into a brown color and later it is becoming a decaying stage. You have seen that. This phenomena takes place with the iron is called corrosion or rusting. How it takes place? Iron molecules interact with the moisture and oxygen, turns into iron oxide. It's a chemical irreversible change. So the iron properties are lost. It is turning into iron oxide, releasing all the components and turning into an entirely new substance. That is what is called a chemical change. So the change of iron into rust is a chemical and irreversible change. Now that iron oxide cannot be brought back into iron again. So this procedure is called corrosion or rusting. So after the rusting, corrosion, the texture of the iron is lost. It turns into weak stage and the properties of the iron is lost and we cannot use it for any our use. That is why the rusting of iron is a very harmful thing, very not a positive thing. Why? because the property of the iron is lost. Now see, we can stop rusting, we can stop erosion. There are many methods it is used. First, you have seen that your grills, your grate, your window which is made of iron. First, the painters, they paint it up. So once they paint it up, the contact between air and moisture will be stopped. As a result, what is not taking place? Rusting will not take place. We studied in class 6. Rusting is the result of the iron. Once it comes in contact with the air and moisture, the iron turns into oxide. This is why this phenomena, changes is what called rusting. So once we painting is a solution of stopping iron rusting. Another, greasing or oiling. We put some lubricants, oils, a grease in order to stop the contact between air and moisture. Iron will not be rusted. Then galvanization is a chemical procedure. That is what an extra coating of some other glazing substances are imposed on the iron surface. It stops rusting. Yeah, such type of many methods are practiced in order to stop rusting or corrosion of the iron. So this is what we have learned in this chapter. Now you will read the lesson very thoroughly, very simple chapter, very thoroughly you read and understand. If any terms you don't understand clearly, you can make it clear through phone. So I hope that you all understood. Let us go back again to the chapter. The points we have learned. The lesson's name is physical and chemical changes. And what is physical change we studied? That is the changes taking place on shape, size, state, structure, color, etc. What happens to things, that is called physical change. But in chemical change, what happened? Chemical as well as physical properties have been entirely changed and a new substance is formed. That is what chemical change. And the changes are of two types, that is reversible and irreversible. Clear? Which cannot be brought back into previous stages, irreversible. But after changes also, the things can be brought back into previous stage, that is reversible. And corrosion and rusting, that is highly happening with the iron. So these are the things we have learned. Now here in this chapter, I will send the question answers on PDF. Then the exercises I will not send, and the questions as we have done in the last chapter, I will circle the questions which you need to write. That should be written on your fair copy and learn properly. So students, spend your time on studies, okay, and keep on reading the chapters and subjects, and your study will be conducted regularly. Okay, keep well.